All right. Let me double check that this is working. I know it was I'm a few minutes late tonight. Let me check things out though. And I thought that I had scheduled this ahead of time, but I did not, or it looks like I didn't. So I'm not sure what happened with that. Okay, it looks okay on that end. Okay, cool. Whew, yeah. As Zuri is saying, happy Friday. Absolutely. Do I look exhausted? I feel a little I feel a little run down. I think my allergies may be changing because it is nice and beautiful and warm outside and glorious, and my nose just feels pinched and angry. So I think it's all in my sinuses right now. And you can hear it in my throat too. But yeah, happy spring, I think. Let me pull up my overlay. I think it's this one. I think it's this one. Okay. Yes, that is the correct one. All right. Hello, everybody. Ooh. All right, I'm going to drink a little bit of water. And I see that we're streaming to both places, so wonderful. Please go ahead, introduce yourself in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from if you are watching this for the first time or watching the replay. I have been deep in the writing process, and I am happy to say that I am working on the last chapter, which has been giving me a lot of problems because it is interpreting the minor arcana. And so that is the majority of a tarot deck is the minor arcana. And I am definitely citing some techniques that we've used in the past on these particular episodes, specifically the 5s and the 7s of the tarot, and use that as an example in my book. So for those of you who are regular watchers, regular participants of the Tarot by Hilary live community of viewers, you're going to get a shout out in my book, because that, to me, the technique that we used is in laying out all of the 5s side by side and laying out all of the 7s side by side and then comparing and contrasting. I'm putting it in my book because I feel like that works more so than any rote interpretations that someone might write in a book. And of course, I am going to be providing some interpretations for people to reference or fall back on. But I really am trying to provide the barest minimum, not to be a contrarian or anything, but because I feel like memorization just doesn't work, or didn't really work for me. I mean, it worked for me, but I feel like it was a very long and tedious process and almost turned me off to learning the tarot in the first place. I'm glad I stuck with it. No regrets on that point, but I feel like if I know that there's a better way, or not necessarily an easier way, but a better way, I'm going to suggest it, and I'm not going to harp on memorization when I personally feel like my understanding of the tarot has evolved to the point where it's just like memorization doesn't work. And this is the feedback that I've gotten back from my tarot clients and my tarot students. This is one of the things that I asked in a survey: what is the number one block to you learning tarot? And an overwhelming majority said interpretation, memorizing, and interpretation. And I'm like, oh yeah, because memorization doesn't work. Really? Most of the time it doesn't work. Anyway, so Katie is here and saying hello to Zuri. Katie says, congrats on your book writing. Oh, fun, 5s and 7s. LOL with the tear emoji. Yeah. That was a long episode. And that was like, I think, a 2-part episode where we spent 2 hours each. So I think it was 4 hours altogether that we spent on the 5s and the 7s. But if you were one of the people that stuck with that, watched the replay or watched it when we covered it live, do you feel like that 4 hours was wasted or well spent? Let me know in the comments. Whether it was wasted, you can let me know. If it was well spent, let me know. But personally, I think it was well spent. And as a teacher, I felt like I understood those cards a little bit better from doing that exercise. So Zuri said, I think you need a foundation, but then you have to spread your wings and develop your own interpretations to become a seasoned reader. I agree. And there is that foundation, and the foundation, if you're using, I know I'm going to make the TOEFL readers mad, or people that read with Marseille, or, one of the systems that is more numerology based or Kabbalah based or what have you. Do you really need more of a foundation than the illustrations that are each and every card of the minor arcana from the Rider-Waite-Smith deck? Like, you have those illustrations as a jumping off point and as a foundation. So Katie was there and she says, yes, 2 parts, and it was really good. Well spent. See? I'm going to take that as a good sign. Anyway, so all that being said, I'm late. I still haven't submitted that last chunk to my publisher, so I'm going to do that after this episode is over. And yeah, I think that all that remains to be done is the acknowledgements page and the index and resources page. And I think the acknowledgements page is going to be hard because there's so many people to thank and there's so many people to acknowledge. So yeah, then I've got to remember everyone viewing these live streams, and my tarot clients and students. All right. Anyway. Oh, I should probably put that in the links, right? In the live sales section. Yeah? You think so? Oh, and I think Barnes & Noble has 25% off pre-orders, but I think it ends the end of today. So, and I just found that out recently. Oh, I don't have time to put that in the live sales link, but I can just put in the link to my book. Where is it? I'm not sure why that link isn't coming up right away, because I swear I've searched my own name on some of these sites about 1 million times because I can't even believe it's real. Give me 1 second to put that into the chat. Yes, I should think so. There is not any customer reviews yet because, it's not out yet. All right, I'm going to drop that into the chat. And so I've heard it's 25% off on pre-orders on the BN website until end of day today, I think. So I'll go ahead and share that in here, but it's pretty much a bunch of gobbledygook there. But the ISBN is on there. So if you just click on the link, it will take you to my book on the Barnes & Noble website. So you can also start asking about pre-orders through independent bookstores. I believe there is a listing on indiebound.org for my book already. So if you would like to support your independent local bookstore, I totally appreciate that. And there are ways to do that as well. So, and I don't know if that cover is going to stay the same or it's going to be a different cover. I don't know if it's going to go under the name How to Read Tarot or Tarot Practical and Celestial. I'm not sure because I'm seeing it both ways, and they're still my book. So I don't know. But here is the link to IndieBound, and that way you can contact your local independent bookstore if you would like to pre-order my book through there. So, and I will show that as well. Okay. Anyway, we had a new episode of the Card Slingers Coast to Coast podcast episode drop today about episode 54 called Under the Influence, which talks a little bit about reading and divining under the influence of prescription drugs, how stress affects readings, trauma responses, therapy techniques that can help, and tackling the myth of near-death experiences and gaining psychic powers. I think that was my contribution, but it's been a while since I listened to the episode, so you will have to check that out. New Card Slingers Coast to Coast episode available wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you again to all of our listeners, and thank you to our listener for the question that we based this episode on. Sophia is here. Hello, Sophia. Welcome to the broadcast. I was just talking a little bit about my book and how I'm wrapping it up before I send it off to the publisher. And a couple of people have been asking me, like, why, like, it's not out until November, so why is it due earlier? I don't know. I don't know. That's my contract. A couple of other people have been asking, well, can we see some of it? No, you cannot. You'll just have to wait or pre-order the book. Do I have any influence over the cover or the name? No, I do not. I was contracted to write this book. I was contracted to write these chapters. You know, did I decide what to cover? Yes, but within the structure of what I was given. So I have many, many other thoughts on tarot, probably enough to fill 10 other books. So, you know, this is just the start. And Zuri says, loving your overlay tonight. Thank you very much. I made it in Canva. And yeah. I don't know if I necessarily like the April being so big, but, you know, I'll take it. So, introductions, 15 minutes in. If you are just seeing this episode, or you are what was the word that I was even trying to say there? If you are just joining us for the first time, my name is Hilary. I am a professional tarot reader, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with your own gifts and your own beautiful intuition, because yes, my friends, you have intuition. I believe everybody has intuition. I connect with my intuition and with my clients' intuition through the magic and the power of the tarot. And you can find me at tarotbyhilary.com or at the same handle, Tarot by Hilary, on most of my social media. On YouTube, I go under Hilary Tarot, and that is Hilary with one L. And where is my stuff? And there's my website right there. Zuri says 10 future books, affirming that for you. Thank you very much. I mean, like, this was, I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but you know, next week there is not going to be any live show because I will be in Vegas for my completion of my EFT tapping certification with Gala Darling. Very excited about that. And one of the things that we recently tapped on for our, I guess it was for kind of our last practical over Zoom, was come to the practical with something that you are running from, something that you are really, really scared about, that you're really resistant to. And usually in the practicals, we would have time to exchange, and so one person would lead, and then we would switch. And for this, it was such a big thing because it was something that, you know, you were bringing something that you were very resistant to or running from. And so I was talking about the writing of this book. And I mean, like, I'm going to be very honest and frank about it. It was not easy. My imposter syndrome kicked up big time. And my fellow students basically said some really interesting things during the tapping, got me to laugh and got me to cry and, you know, blow snot bubbles out of my nose and yawn and then cry and laugh some more. But one of the things that she said when she was leading me through this tapping was, you know, I must have 100 years of tarot experience in order to write this book. How about 200 years, 500 years? And I did realize, you know, just because this is such a big topic and, you know, mastery of the tarot is not actually possible, and it would take several lifetimes in order to master something like this, that doesn't mean that I'm not qualified to write about tarot. And as soon as I started writing, it was the same thing that I experienced when I hosted Tarot Rap on Twitter. Was the more that I wrote about it, or the more questions I was asked, even if I was the one asking the questions, the more I realized that I had something to say. And that I do have a perspective on the tarot that is my own and unique. And it might be common to other tarot readers, but that doesn't mean or negate that what I'm saying is true or not. You know, this is my experience, and I'm writing from my experience and my expertise. And there will never be a point where it's going to feel comfortable or that I will know everything about the tarot. And that's okay. So, hope that makes sense to everybody. Like, write in the chat, yes, you know, no, maybe so. Katie says, woohoo, rap or tapping. And Dina is here as well. Hi, goddesses. Hello, Dina. Hello, goddess, to you too. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been focused on this week, is continuing doing some EFT practice sessions for people. I think the last one that I was scheduled to do was on Wednesday nights. I will put out another call if I need more guinea pigs in the future, but since I am wrapping up and doing my certification, those sessions, like, I thank all of you that volunteered to do an EFT practice session with me. And I really appreciate your feedback. I hope it was helpful. And, you know, please understand that if I didn't select you to, you know, book a guinea pig or practice session with me, that doesn't mean that you can't book an EFT session with me separately for pay, because I am going to be charging for that once I am done with my certification, you know. But I had to get to a level of amount of practice sessions where I felt comfortable charging. Again, Same as tarot, the parallels, they don't end. So, and I will let you know when I will be releasing that option on my website. So, um, Katie says, my autocorrect hates me. Yes, tapping. Katie says, you are sharing your experiences and knowing tarot. Everyone has different experiences that bring something to tarot. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. And this is part of the reason why I'm struggling so much over the interpreting the minor arcana section. And I think I've repeated it a couple of times in the book, and I'm going to repeat it a couple of times more, when people are asking me about it. Why did you provide these interpretations? Because that's the interpretation that came to my head at the moment that I was writing the chapter. That's what I'm going to say, because it's just like, I look at these cards fresh every single time, and I try to not use rote meanings or or kind of like be apathetic or be like, oh, this always means this or this never means this. I just try to look at every tarot card fresh every time and fit it into the context of what the question was or what the topic was or what the client was asking about, how they're interplaying with each other. And I'm just I'm worried that people are going to be like, oh, well, that's a bunch of crap. And it's just like, not everyone's going to like what I have to say or what I write. And that's going to have to be okay, because, until you get a book contract, shut up. Everyone's got an opinion, Dina says, tarot is a rainbow. Your knowledge is one color in a mix. That is absolutely true. So, gosh, and I nearly forgot. I nearly forgot to write in one of the aspects that I wanted to talk about, because it's really hard keeping to a word count. Use a different deck. Okay. Like literally, I have different tabs on my computer right now as I'm thinking of things. So Sophia says tarot is just accessing your bank of knowledge and finding what fits the cards you have that spread day moments. Yeah, that's true too. All right. So a lot of talk about the writing process. That's going to be where I'm at. And EFT and everything else. It all is coalescing in my brain all at the same time. I do want to shout out my friend Brendo, who got me a very nice birthday present. It's a little bit belated, but that's okay. I love it. I love this shirt. Can you guys see it? It makes sense for me. Now I can just point to my shirt. I haven't actually used the pointing yet. Oh no. There we go. I think it was cut off a little bit. All right, let me lean over. There we go. Or maybe it's this. It says, can I pet your dog? It's perfect. I love it. Okay. So, agenda for tonight's episode, we have right on the side here, we've got the astrology or the astro-weather from Teresa Reed's wonderful Astro Biz Digest. Our main focus of tonight's episode is unboxing the True Heart Tarot by Rachel True. If you're not familiar with Rachel True, she is also an actress, best known for Half Baked, The Craft, bunch of other work. And she is also a tarot reader, and she created this tarot deck. So I have not looked at it yet. I did unwrap the cellophane from the outer so that we can save a little bit of time. But I'm sure there's some unwrapping that I might have to do on the innards. So I have my little embroidery scissors with me to do that. But that is the main crux of our episode tonight, is doing an unboxing. And then we will finish up with the weekend forecast, which is either a tarot or an oracle card to guide you through the weekend. Not sure if we're going to pull from the True Heart Tarot, or if we're going to pull from one of the other oracle decks that I have over here. By the way, Jamie Elford, who is one of my co-hosts on the Card Slingers podcast, she sent me the Visionary Oracle for my birthday. And it is really wonderful for creativity and creative challenges. And it's actually been really helpful. I've been trying to pull a card from it before I sit down and do like my writing for the day. And I think today's card was boredom. And like allowing yourself to be bored and allowing yourself to have that blank space in which you're doing nothing. Because if you're always on the go, or you're always doing something, or you're always filling up the time, you might be stunting your creative process a little bit, because you're not giving yourself the blank space to be able to dream or daydream or think, or, so very helpful. But so I don't know if we're going to do a tarot card or an oracle card for the weekend forecast, or where from. So today's card of the day was from the Cosmic Butcher's Strange and Eternal tarot deck that I've been working with this month. And it was the reversed Enchanter of Daggers, which is the equivalent of the Queen of Swords. So it looks like this. Very interesting. And I pulled the cards of the day ahead of time, but I didn't do any of the interpretations until the day of. So I know what tomorrow's card of the day is going to be, but I haven't written the interpretation yet or scheduled it yet. So, all right, let's start with the astrology, shall we? If you're ready to go, say so, please, in the chat. I was going to find the widget. Ooh, I can move the widget around. Why did I think that I couldn't move the widget? I don't know why I can't. There we go. There we go. Does that show up? I'm going to hydrate first, though. I know Dina's saying she's ready. And someone is revving their engine out there. I can also do it full screen. You want to see? I don't know if you can still hear me, though. It's pretty cool. All right. Let's do this. AstroBiz Digest. So one significant change in the cosmos this week, the sun will be in a reliable Taurus on the 19th. So we are in Taurus season now, which as an Aries, I'm not happy about, but I'm trying to lean in to that Taurus energy of luxury. Anyway, you've got 4 solid weeks to get your money in order, balance your checkbook, go over your profit and loss statements, invest in your business. This would also be an excellent time to upgrade your image. For example, Teresa invested in a personal styling session with Elsa Isaac. By the way, the pace is slower at this time. You can still make your way while this sun shines, but it's best to take a methodical approach. The sun moves into Gemini on May 20th. So we're in Taurus season from the 19th to May 20th. That's the one big thing that's going on this week. So today is Earth Day, Friday, April 22nd. The cosmos is in good shape today, so be ready to kick ass all day long. It begins with a Moon-Venus sextile at 6:43 a.m., a terrific time for marketing or meetings. Hold on one second. Let me move the microphone a little bit closer to me. I suggest automating a few things and sleeping in. Host meetings or send out a newsletter at 11:13 a.m. when the moon trines Mercury. You can make your point now, so speak up and let folks know what's up with your biz. Dream up big new marketing strategies when the moon sextiles Neptune at 4:38 p.m., followed by a sextile to Jupiter at 7:58 p.m. Use this period to plot out new seasonal PR campaigns with your team. Do that now and you'll be ready to slay all summer long. The moon is void at 11:53 p.m. Get to bed and you'll be set up for the networking, the perfect biz activity with the Aquarian moon. Yeah, I plan on being in bed long before 11:53 p.m. So that is for today, Friday, April 22nd. And any questions so far? And yes, I am seeing that everyone is greeting each other. So I'm going to go ahead and give the shout outs and acknowledging. All right. Oh, I wish I had my cough drops with me and my lip gloss. I might have to get up and get that. I'm going to have some water first. And I forgot to show the Astro Biz Digest, because this is available for $99 for a year-long subscription. And ooh, I like that. Oh, I'm gonna keep it up there like that. That's cute. Anyway, you can get that right here. All right, let us get into Saturday. Saturday, the moon will be in Aquarius this weekend. That means you'll want to rub elbows, host gatherings, connect with your team, and perhaps engage in a few community building activities. Saturday starts off with a funky square between the sun and the moon at 7:56 a.m. Wait about 2 hours later, and then feel free to go forth with any of these activities. And remember, all of these times are in Eastern Standard Time. A clear sky means your moves will land well. Sunday is a mixed bag, and frankly, I'd take the day off. Here's why. Mercury squares Saturn at 9:50 a.m., which puts a damper on communication. The public is distracted and no one is listening. It's possible the news will be full of drama, which may create distractions. The evening finds Mercury sextile Neptune at 6:37 p.m., a lovely spot for a meeting with your team or creative brainstorming. But then the planets do a nosedive around 7:33 p.m. and the mood becomes solemn. Better plan a nourishing meal with people you love and a good book. And for some reason, I'm not seeing any of the weekdays or power days in this particular Astro Biz Digest. I don't know if it was just left out, but let me look. Not sure why. And there was no correction issued, so Mm-mm-mm. Let me look back a little bit. Yeah, I don't know why that is. Because she did it the last time. I'm looking for the overview for the month, though. See if I can get you at least the power days. Shoot, that's not it either. All right, let me go back one more. All right, here's the monthly. So today is a power day for Capricorn. So April 22nd is a power day for Capricorn. Saturday is a power day for Aquarius. And Sunday, the 24th, is a power day for Aquarius. Mercury squares Saturn. People are cranky today. Communication could go sideways. Mercury sextile Neptune, excellent for creative problem solving and brainstorming. So now you're caught up. I'm sorry about the weak ones aren't there, but if you do the exact opposite in the astrology wheel, you should be able to find out who the weak signs are. Dina. I knew it. I knew Dina would have calculated for me already. Weekdays for Leo, great for Aquarius, Saturday and Sunday. Thank you, Dina. All right, so that is it for the AstroBiz Digest, unless, of course, you want me to look at some of the other days of this week. If you happen to have a pretty funky Monday or Tuesday, let me know in the chats. And if there isn't any questions in about a minute or two, we will unbox the True Heart Tarot. I'm very excited about this, by the way. All right, so Katie is saying, I will be curious if there's anything for last Wednesday at around 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I like that you're specific about that, Katie. Okay. This past Wednesday. So this week? This past Wednesday or last Wednesday? Just let me know. Because I'm going to assume it's this week. I got some wonderful feedback from someone that I gave an email reading to yesterday. It was pretty amazing. I think it was a new person too, a new client. So that's always nice to hear. And I've been getting really great feedback from some of you that have done the EFT tapping session. So actually, I'm going to talk a little bit about that before we move into unboxing of the True Heart Tarot. Last week passed. I'm going to have to pull up my calendar. Last week, the 20th. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right. I am looking right now. Let's see. 20th. Well, I mean, it could be it could be interesting because the significant change in the cosmos, the sun entered Taurus on the 19th. So that was a recent change right before the 20th. So that could have something to do with it. But let's look for Wednesday. Wednesday morning was clear. Get going early and make some noise. If you're traveling today, you shouldn't have too many problems. And this is an excellent day for sending book proposals too. Moon-Saturn sextile, 1:18 p.m. is ideal for meetings with your team, any activity that requires concentration. Skies turn crappy when the moon made a series of squares beginning at 2:20 p.m. and stations void at 4:56 p.m. Folks are cranky, deception is in the air, all the slimy salespeople are clamoring for the spotlight. Call it a day, let them duke it out, and then the moon slipped into Capricorn at 11:52 p.m. which is a CEO moon. So it seems like the skies were funky from 2:20 to and also, moon stationing void at 4:56 p.m. So maybe people were just feeling that a little bit early. Let me know if that makes sense. If people were being cranky crank, let me know. Let me know if that helped, Katie. So again, AstroBiz Digest is usually geared towards entrepreneurs and business owners, but I've also found it to be incredibly personal to plan in my everyday life. I give you all just enough, astrological information to know, wet your whistle, and if you want more than that, you can happily get a subscription to Teresa's AstroBiz Digest for yourself for $99 for a year-long subscription. I hope not. Oh, well, hopefully it doesn't impact job interview results. Possibly not. It seemed like the skies were very clear during that time. So you may just have to wait and see. Okay. So I did want to talk a little bit about the nice feedback that I've been getting for EFT. So I'm just going to read two of them. I felt like our EFT session made a tremendous difference for me. I actually went on a lunch date and I was able to just go and enjoy myself and not worry about the outcome. I kept repeating that I don't have time for games and that whatever happens, I can handle it. Rather than obsess over it like I would have in the past, I just decided to let it go and move on. No more Parcheesi for me. Overall, I feel a lot less fearful about things in general. So glad I decided to be a guinea pig. And that was from Amy L. Amy, thank you so much for that great feedback. I'm so glad. So another testimonial that I got, doing really well after the EFT session. Some things lined up on Sunday in retrospect to in respect to pivoting my career. So I'm following those pings and seeing where they lead me. I think the tapping helped a lot. I really enjoyed connecting with you. I meant what I wrote to Gala. I would love to be one of your clients. You are really good at this. And that was from Jen M. So thank you so much to both Amy and Jen for that wonderful feedback. I've been getting way more than just those two, but those happen to be ones that they gave me in the body of an email, and I just reached back out to them and said, hey, this is really great feedback. Can I make it into a testimonial? Do I have your permission? They said yes, enthusiastically. So awesome. Great. Had to mention it. Pretty cool. So yeah, it's been very interesting, very eye-opening, and honestly, it's such a compatible modality to some of the stuff that I've been doing with tarot. Really. So yeah, I've been having a good time with it, and also I feel like it's been really, really helping people, and that's exactly what I want to do. That's what I want to do with tarot and my tarot readings, my tarot teaching, and EFT. And some people might come to me for the EFT and stay for the tarot. Some may come for me for the tarot and stay for the EFT. Both or neither, I feel like it doesn't really matter how I'm helping, just as long as I am helping. So let us get to unboxing the True Heart Tarot, shall we? I'm going to go grab some lip balm, though, first. And I'm going to push back my microphone so that I have room to spread these cards out. And if I keep it propped like this, it will fall over onto my keyboard. So just going to put it right in front of me there. Here we go. And you can see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. That is some of the books that I've been referencing. This one. I want more of this lip gloss, but I don't think they make it anymore. It's a little bit disappointing. It's the Naked from Urban Decay Naked Lip Gloss. Ultra Nourishing Gloss. And I love it, and it smells so nice, and it's such a nice subtle color, and I don't think they make it anymore. I'm not sure if they do. It like has this like kind of lemony scent to it. See, isn't it nice? It's just a nice subtle color. I really hope they make it still. It smells nice too. Okay. Let us unbox, shall we? So this is the True Heart Intuitive Tarot Guidebook and Deck by Rachel True. This is what it looks like. I think there was a cellophane kind of wrapping around it. It is published by Houghton Mifflin Harcourt Publishing Company. Package designed by Raphael Gironi and illustrations by Stephanie Singleton. Very nice. And I love the color too. It's just like a nice, soft, like sky blue, but it's like subtle. And again, I think I might have covered this in my book. I'm not sure. It's all starting to like become mush in my head a little bit. But I mentioned about that whole myth about, you know, silk wrapping your cards or, you know, putting them into a separate bag. And I mentioned that there have been a lot of tarot decks that have come out now that they are, you know, they're listening to tarot readers and people who enjoy tarot, and they're listening, and they're providing us better packaging so that we don't have to worry about foxing the edges of the tarot decks that we receive, and we don't have to store it in a separate bag or box because how they're sending the package, you know, like it's protected in its own packaging. It's not just a delivery mechanism, you know, it actually is storage as well, which is good. I mean, I think I said that something similar to this when I did the unboxing for the Liminal 11's Luna Soul Tarot, which actually happens to be right here. But like, look at this box. It's so nice. Magnetic closure, you know. and here you go. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's a magnetic closure on this one though. So Sophia's saying this publisher also changed the cardstock after people complained. They're hearing us. Awesome. Great. See, this is what I'm talking about. Magnetic closure, please. I hope so. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, Dina. Let's hope. But here's another thing. Like, and I mean, okay, I'm not gonna fault independent deck creators though. If they have a flimsy cardboard box. So this one, while it's really nice from Cosmic Butcher's Strange and Eternal Tarot, it is a cardboard box. So I did have to transfer the deck into one of my Ipsy bags. But I chose an Ipsy bag that was matching to the aesthetic of that deck. And so I have my Cosmic Butcher Strange and Eternal Tarot in my Halloween-esque fanged black and green and white Ipsy bag. So I think it works out. Anyway, packaging, very important. I don't know if this one has magnetic enclosures or not, but we're going to find out. That's what this unboxing is for. So let's open it up. Ooh, I'm going to answer this question first, though. What are your thoughts on the Cosmic Butcher deck? I've been liking your daily posts with it and almost scooped it up. If you're able to find it, good. I know that it was more of an independent deck, and so I don't exactly know if it's available online for purchase. I think you should be able to reach out to her. But I happen to get this deck because I volunteer at the local art center, and for their winter boutique and gallery, there was a tarot deck there, and I'm just like, the person that the person that's the volunteer coordinator also is like the gallery, or the, yeah, gallery director, I think, his title is. But interestingly enough, I had worked with him before, during my corporate retail days. So, and he became an artist, and yeah, it's a very funny, it's a small world synchronicities kind of thing. But I was asking him, just like, oh my god, cool, a tarot deck. And he was just like, yeah, it's actually someone that I know. I have this many, and so the other week I asked, do you have any more copies? Because I might have to snatch them up from you, because a couple of my friends that are tarot readers were just like ogling. And so I was just like, I want to make sure that they can get a copy of it, and it's often really rare that I find a tarot deck that other people don't know about. So I'm like, kind of like, yeah. So, no, really? One of my local witchy stores got a handful of copies. Nice. Nice. Love to hear it. I snatch one. Snatch one up if it's intriguing to you from what you've been seeing. I like it. Apparently it was created based on a horror movie. And I don't necessarily know if I had gotten it because of that, because I'm not a horror person. But I like it, and I'm very intrigued by it. And some of the symbology has been interesting enough that it's kind of like revved up my intuitive juices again, because sometimes it's just like, newer decks sometimes still adhere really, really closely to the Rider-Waite-Smith symbolism, and don't really take a lot of liberties or deviations from that. And sometimes you gotta kind of deviate from that if that is your understanding of that particular card's energy. So that is not the case with this one. They take liberties, and they're good because there is a purpose for those liberties. For example, the Emperor card was all like these talons, but it was so perfectly applicable to that day's card of the day, interpretation. It was exactly what I needed to hear. And then also I was working with a lot of people that were like trying to get into their feminine. I'm just like, does this look approachable? And they were just like, no. So yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. I think you would like it too. Yeah. Amityville Apothecary has it on their website. Cool. Shout out to Amityville Apothecary. I love the chains. I love the chains as wands. Yeah. The deviation from the classic suit naming and, type. Very interesting. Yeah. So it's like daggers for swords, chains for wands, pentacles for keys, and chalices for cups. Or keys for pentacles, chalices for cups. Yeah. And there is no guidebook, though. So you have to, like, there is a a scan code, QR code. And then you can link to the PDF. So I think that would be like the only drawback, is that it doesn't have like a physical guidebook that goes with it. It assumes that you have internet access, which, can be a little bit of an assumption that's made in privilege. But then again, first world problems buying tarot decks, right? I don't know. I hope that that helps. I've been liking it. I've been attracted to it. I've been liking it. It's not necessarily a usual deck or one that I may work with clients with it or I may not. But I have it's almost like I have a very similar feeling to it as the Deviant Moon Tarot, which has a lot of people that are like hardcore lovers of the Deviant Moon. Deviant Moon was a little bit too out there for me, and I ended up putting it on the swap table at the Reader Studio Tarot Conference, and it didn't even make it onto the surface of the swap table. Someone saw me putting it down, and they took it from my hands. So, telling you, sometimes people love the deck, sometimes people hate the deck, but there is never a middling feeling with some of these decks. So, you're welcome. All right, let us open True Heart Tarot. So when you open this, you have the book on the top. So I'm gonna, oh, okay. All right, it's attacking me. So here is the guidebook. So this is not a little white book. This is a guidebook that comes with it. And I've heard really good things about the guidebook, that it's almost like part guidebook and part memoir. So Rachel True shares her tarot knowledge gained through a lifetime of practice in her first guidebook and deck. Accessible and conversational, True Heart helps readers use the cards as True does, with an intuitive approach. She shares personal stories from her experiences in Hollywood to illuminate how to personalize the meaning of each card, and how, much in the way Carl Jung used them in his practice, tarot offers wisdom based on the reader's present energy. So Rachel True is an American actress who has appeared in many hit and cult films, including The Craft, Half-Baked, and Nowhere. Nominated for an NAACP award for her work on the TV show Half and Half. A native New Yorker and an avid bibliophile, Rachel is a lifelong tarot practitioner, and she lives in Los Angeles. So that is the guidebook. New guidebook smell. I am going to love this. I'm going to love this. Ooh, there's some really nice spreads in here too. They've got, she's got 3-card past, present, future spread. Pretty straightforward. The Celtic Cross as well. I noticed that she does a 10-card, much like me. The 11-card Mother Piece spread, created by Vicki Noble, Karen Vogel, and Jonathan Tenney for the Mother Piece deck workbook. That's nice. It's a lot of cards, though. That's it's 11 cards. 11 card. 10-card relationship snapshot spread. True Heart Tarot 5-heart insight spread. 5-card insight spread. Sorry, 5 hit. Ooh. Pretty. Really, really pretty. Nice. Really, really nice. So, and the dedication is to Pamela Coleman Smith. So this came out in 2020, by the way. And I've been sleeping on this deck, so my apologies for sleeping on this deck. And it looks like almost almost every card of the major arcana has like a memoir style story to go along with it, along with, you know, regular keywords and high vibe, low vibe, and what to do if pulled into a low vibe. which I like. Very nice. All right, so that's the guidebook. Let's go to the cards themselves, shall we? So this is how I'm seeing the cards themselves. And they are indeed wrapped. Let me know if you have any questions about this deck or any other questions that you have. Like, I'll field them while I'm unwrapping these. All right, I'll field them if I'm at liberty to field them. How about that? Ooh, I like the backs. Because the backs have this kind of like traditional feel to them, but they still feel pretty accessible. I don't know about the cardstock yet, though, because I haven't opened it. All right. Let's rip into these without damaging the cards as I perform minor surgery. I didn't get enough there. You know, I feel like newer tarot readers are so lucky, but they have the problem of the Five of Cups. So much to choose from out there. My left, your right. I can take this down. I mean, it's cute and all, but if you can't see me, then you can't see me. There, that's better. Because I have my, thank you, Katie said, can you move yourself a little? Your left, you're hidden a bit. Thank you. Because I've got this, I guess it's mirror mode. I don't know if I can turn it off, though. Yeah, mirror camera. There. I'm not going to mirror the camera anymore. I fixed it so that I can see what you guys are seeing. Now I'm going to put back up the overlay just to see how it was appearing. Yeah, I see what you were saying. Thank you for saying that. All right, better. Okay. So yeah, what I was saying about newer tarot readers, I'm a little bit envious of them because they have so much to choose from, so many books to choose from. They've got the internet if they have access to the internet, so they can like learn or Google or, you know, learn from a video about tarot. They can look it up at 3 in the morning or 4 in the morning if they feel like they're having an insomnia episode and wanting to learn a new thing. And there's so many different tarot decks out there to choose from now, and also diverse tarot decks too. Is this the... Ooh, okay. So I think that this pile here is the the major arcana, and then some of the minor arcana. So I'm going to put down this pile here so we can flip through the majors. But yeah, I do think it's a 7 of Cups kind of problem where it's just like there's so much out there. There's a little bit of bright and shiny. And it's just like, well, which deck do I get? There's so many out there to choose from, or which person's the right person, or which resource is the one resource to rule them all. And that can be the beauty of the tarot, and it also can cause more confusion when you're just learning, where it's just like, well, what is right? What is wrong? You know? And it's just like, if every card can be everything, then it's just like, then what do I hold to, or how do I actually learn this? And it's just like, you kind of learn the tarot by working with the tarot deck that you're drawn to, you know, and allowing that work with the tarot to inform you, you know. Just my opinion. So nice card stock, not too thick, not too thin. Little bit shiny, a little bit slippery, which is nice, but probably good enough slip there to shuffle. We don't want it to be too matte. That would cause it to not shuffle well, but we also don't want it to be too slippery that it flies all over the place when we're trying to shuffle. So this is the Fool card, which is the outside of the packaging, and also the outside of the book. So that is the Fool. Very nice, very pretty. I like that her dress is almost like kind of transparent, where it's the clouds and the sky and the mountains and the grass below. Very cool. So that's the Fool. The Magician. Magician looks to be a female magician. I like that, and I like the planets circling as well. The planets circling, you've got the infinity symbol, you've got the wand, you've got the sword, you've got the staff, you've got the cup. There's no table there, so it's more like nature-based, because you got the sword and the staff and the cup like sticking up from the flowers, and the wand's in the hand. Very nice. The High Priestess. The High Priestess is not young looking. The High Priestess has a couple of wrinkles on her face. I'm down with that. The Empress. Oof. I like this Empress. I like this Empress a lot. That is beautiful. That is gorgeous. That's probably one of my favorite Empresses. Wow. Wow. So Katie says it looks quite positive, like an adventure instead of the Fool doing something stupid. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and the traditional symbols are on there. There's the little white dog is on there. You got this, the staff with the satchel on the end of the stick. There's a flower there as well. You've got the cliff, but there is this kind of contemplation to it. It's not necessarily just The Emperor. Not quite vibing with that particular Emperor, but that's okay. Can't like every card. Definitely got that Aries with the Aries heads there. The Hierophant. Huh. The Lover's card looks a bit frothy. A Chariot. Ooh, I like Strength. The Hermit. I like the Hermit as well. Feels like there are a lot of mushrooms in this particular deck. Nothing wrong with that, of course. And the Hermit looks to be a female figure as well. Ooh, I like that Wheel of Fortune. Pretty. All of these cards are pretty. Justice. Oh, Justice card is gorgeous too. The Hanged Man. Death is actually quite beautiful as well. Any other cards you're liking? Temperance. Ooh, Devil. Yes. Yeah, I would agree with you, Katie. It looks like a mix of cultures are being referred to. Ooh. I'm always very suspicious of a tarot deck that has an attractive looking tower card. I'm just like, what does that say about me right now? The star. The star is quite nice too. Almost there. The moon. Ooh, the moon's nice. I like it because it has a lot of like almost sacred geometry in it too. The sun. Wow. I like that one too. Judgment. And then finally, the world. So that is the major arcana of the True Heart Tarot. And we have some of the minor arcana in here, like the Ace of Cups. These are all illustrated pips as well. So I'm not going to be able to flip through all of them. But here's like the Ace of Cups. Very nice. Three of Cups. Five of Cups is a very interesting depiction. I can definitely understand where that's coming from. I really like some of this. Like honestly, like this I'm going to have trouble explaining it, but like the Seven of Cups, for example, it's almost like it's a play on that shadow kind of aspect of the radiant of the Rider-Waite-Smith depiction of the Seven of Cups, where you have like this figure, but you see the figure from behind, and it's almost like a black shadow of the person, and then the emphasis is on those seven cups. I like that. I like that spin on it. Very cool. Yes, yes. Katie is saying those cups pick up on the emotions. I agree. The Nine of Cups is nice. Look at the Nine of Cups. Oh, I can't even. I think I might put the mirroring back. Sorry for the glare, everybody. Yeah, it has like this modern feeling to it, while also not feeling completely too modern, which is very hard to do. Queen of Cups. Here's some of the discs. So in this deck, pentacles or coins or discs. All right, and that's all I have for the major and some of the minors before I open up the second stack. Any other questions as I'm opening this second stack? Say that 5 times fast. Yes. Yeah. There's definitely some Egyptian feels to the imagery. I agree with you. And what's really funny, mentioning the Egyptian feels, I'm sorry to say it, folks, but I just finished up the history of the tarot chapter for my book. And, you know, some of that, those Egyptian connections for the tarot, made up. Made up. There has been no evidence linking the tarot back to Egypt. No historical evidence, which I know might be disappointing for some of you. But yeah, it was an assertion made by Gebelin, and where is it? I swear I have it. I have it right here. Hold on. I also don't want to open it up right now and like get into it, but yeah. Tarot misconceptions rooted in history. Tarot's roots in Egyptian mysticism. This incorrect attribution came from Antoine Court de Gebelin for the link to Egyptian occult practices, a theory posited briefly in Volume 8 of his series Le Monde Primitif from 1781. And that was debunked in a few different ways, including the connection to Kabbalah as well. Occultists have claimed secret sources for the cards, such as a grand conference of Kabbalists and other masters in Morocco in 1300, but no one has ever produced any historical evidence for such claims. So I'm sure there are many other books that you can look into if you're interested in the history of the tarot and the misconceptions based on incorrect history of the tarot. But like some of it is like, even reading a fiction book called The Fortune Teller, she has some history in it, you know, as like her main character goes to talk to someone that's like a tarot expert, and they rattle off all of the roots of, you know, tarot up until like modern tarot decks. But really, tarot being used as fortune telling or a divination system, we really don't have a lot of history based on that. You know, there's a lot of conjecture. There's not a lot of history. So, or at least not as much history that is rooted in tarot as playing cards, or playing cards in general, you know. Very interesting stuff. So let's continue. Five of discs. I don't know about that particular depiction, but Eight of discs. Ace of wands. Five of wands. I actually like the five of wands. That Medusa snakes tangled up. Yep. I like the Eight of Wands. Ooh, 10 of Wands. By the way, this deck has Princess, Prince, Queen, and King. Ace of Swords. Ooh, I like the Two of Swords. I really like the Two of Swords. It aligns so well with how I think of the Two of Swords, but just with different symbology. Not much deviation for the Three of Swords in this deck, my friends. Oh, I don't think Mr. Tarot by Hilary is going to like the Five of Swords. Something about eyeballs and getting near eyeballs. Mm-mm. Oh, I like the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords behind someone's back with the fingers crossed and the little foxes on the back of the jacket. Very cool. Oh, I like the Queen of Swords. Yeah, Katie says the trying to get balance yet torn between two views and that Two of Swords. Yes, yeah, that was what was attractive for me. Mm-hmm. All right, well, we've gone through. I can't go through all 78 cards of this deck, but I just showed you a little bit of a peep see. And I'm gonna grab the two halves and put them together and start to shuffle them up, see how it feels. Yeah, this card stock is quite significant because it just feels thicker when I pile them both together. Feels good. Shuffling it feels good. Not too slick and not too inflexible. So oh, that strength card. I have to look in the book for the strength card, but that is just beautiful. And it looks like it's poppies. The flower on it. Oh, I should turn on the light in here. It's a little bit dark in here right now. Oh yeah, and using a yoga pose to show trying to strike a balance. Yep. And Katie says it's a peaceful strength card. Yeah, I think so too. Yep. Not really a struggle there. Yep, high vibe, fortitude, strength, perseverance, willpower, control, courage, lust, and sexuality. Huh. So apparently, the story that comes along with the strength card was her going to got an offer for a film shooting in South Africa a year after my sitcom Half and Half went off the air. My intuition told me that no one was ever going to see this film, and truth be told, no one ever did. But the opportunity was impossible to pass up. I loved traveling, especially on someone else's dime, and the thought of acting on foreign soil was intriguing. By the time the film wrapped, everybody, including myself, was homesick, but the producers made me an offer to stay longer and travel with a guide to a lion safari in Zimbabwe for some extra filming. I had to do it. At the enormous no hunting animal preserve, the lions roam wild and have limited contact with humans once they've grown. We have a saying here, my guide divulged somberly. We don't fuck with the lions and they don't fuck with us. Several workers were buzzing about having seen my sitcom. I was told I was going to be given a special tour with close-up access to the lions, while the groups got safety. Look, even minor celebrity has its perks, but usually in the form of free hand creams and decent restaurant tables. But is extra danger really a star benefit? The Pride took a water buffalo down yesterday. They shouldn't be too hungry, said a tranquilizer gun holding park ranger in what I think was meant to be a reassuring tone. I had an epiphany that the word should is opaque in its vagueness. We traveled down a dusty path, sandy, reddish soil, caking my sneakers. I wanted to applaud Mother Nature because I didn't see the first lioness until we were in striking distance from the tree she lounged under. The rangers greeted her and encouraged me to get closer. Though I noticed they weren't moving in themselves. It's okay, you can go. They are wild, but came here when they were young and mostly don't see us as prey. But don't make any sudden movements, okay? Oh my God. These are not your average house cats, people. They may purr, lick your hand, and roll around like a kitty, but this lioness was minimum 3 times the size of the monster Rottweiler that terrorizes my neighborhood. Her liquid gold gray eyes remained trained on me as I approached. I noticed her ears weren't laid but flat back, a sure sign a cat of any size feels uncomfortable. Instead, she seemed curious and sniffed me as I ever so slowly crouched next to her and looked in the eyes of a badass wild beast. The air felt electric and dangerous, but she looked at me calmly, which in turn calmed my fears. It occurred to me that this very scene was a literal strength tarot card moment and the sort of thing an ancestor of mine might have done many, many moons ago. The ginormous male was a solid 400 plus pounds of Master of the Universe King Lion vibe. I seemed to fall in step with him in relative ease as we crossed the plains. In the end, he was a ladies' man, nuzzling and licking me, which I took as an invite to join his pride. I declined. His fur was softer than I had imagined, his mane a glorious mass of tangles, and his face eclipsed mine to almost Lilliputian stature. My nerves remained on fire but steady, in a manner I still try to emulate when under stress. To commune with a lion, you must become a lion. Living the strength card means knowing when you're being courageous and when you're pushing your luck. The trick is walking the line in between. If that one passage is an indication of this book, which is part memoir and part study in the tarot, like I am going to be a very, very happy camper with this deck. So yeah, that's the unboxing. It looks great. I might have to switch over to a different pouch for the deck itself because usually when you have a package like this, while you have the little well in here, you have to stack the cards in 2 piles next to each other, and then they start to slide around, and it's just like not great. So that is my only, not so great feeling. But it's like, it's really quite a minor thing to complain about. Katie says, what an amazing story. Yeah. There was more to that story as well, because she was also talking about how her sitcom was still on the air in South Africa when she went to go film that movie. And apparently, one of the actresses that she was working with was being a little bit catty and saying, like, oh, we're the same age. And, I auditioned to be her mother in that, and da 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 da, and we're the same age. And, Hollywood, you're not really supposed to tell your age, or at least be nice about it. So there was more to that story than just about the lions, but I skipped ahead. And the Fool card, she talks about her moving out to California and how she pulled tarot cards before she left. And she received the Fool, the Nine of Swords, and the Chariot. And the Nine of Swords, while it is a card of, anxiety, it is often a card of anxiety with, like, not really real. Like the Fool, the Nine of Swords, and the Chariot. The Fool was saying to take a risk and leap into a new adventure. My worry and fear about moving, represented by the Nine of Swords, were just that, fear and worry, not reality. And the Chariot, a card of victory on the worldly plane, was in the future position. And she shot her first studio film. And about 9 months later, she got told about the movie The Craft. After I read the script, I told her, if anyone's going to be a little black witch in this town, it's me. I knew the script for The Craft was attracted to me because of my enduring relationship to the cards and mystical studies. What if instead of going deeper with the tarot, I had gotten my TV fixed and waited around for auditions to trickle back in? Maybe I still would have somehow ended up booking The Craft. Some parts are meant to be yours, but maybe my energy would have been off from lethargy and disengagement, defeated by the constant no's an actor endures. Would my vibration have matched my character Rochelle? Thank goodness I'll never have to know. Today's burgeoning spiritualists may have had their first intro to tarot while watching The Craft. In 1996, the Sony Pictures cult film debuted at #1 at the box office and stayed there until Mission Impossible crushed us 2 weeks later. Somehow, this little witchy flick has endured. To this day, I'm routinely offered free hemp bracelets and a spot in the coven by random teens at airports the world over. The Fool can make all the plans they want, but until they begin taking steps, the path will remain uncertain. That's a Fool story. And that might be the reason why the Fool card of this, tarot deck is a little bit gentler and seems a little less foolish than a traditional Fool card would. So there you go. Unboxing of the True Heart Intuitive Tarot Guidebook and Deck by Rachel True with illustrations by Stephanie Singleton. Came out in 2020. I've been sleeping on it, so but I finally have a copy now. Thank you very much to Rachel True for creating it and telling her wonderful stories in here. I have a feeling I'm going to really, really like this deck. And, if you're considering purchasing it, take a look at some of what I said in this video, take a look at some of the cards, if they're vibing with you. I would say that might be an energetic match for you to be working with this deck. All right. Any other questions about the True Heart Tarot deck, or I don't know, before we move into the weekend forecast? I'm still not sure what I'm going to pull from. Got a couple of decks here. Actually, I might just pull from my workhorse deck, which happens to be right here next to me. So, a lot of crystals in there. I hope this is still recording. I'm going to just double check on the YouTube and make sure that it is. Because sometimes I cannot tell. Looks like it's still recording, so good. All right, what do we need to know for the weekend? Oop, that is a flip. Ah, crap. All right, fine. Not happy about this card. Actually, I'm going to pull up my interpreting the minor arcana and go to my fives. But we have the Five of Wands for this weekend, which is not the bestest card. So as you can see here, we've got, and by the way, this is a little bit of a preview. If you haven't been here before, you're wondering how to interpret a tarot card, you know, or what the hell does it mean to be like, oh, well, you have everything you need right on the card if you're using an illustrated pip stack of minor arcana. This is the reason why, because you have an illustration, you have a story on the card. Tell the story on the card and apply it to the question that you were asking, and also see how the card's energies talk to each other. And sometimes you can get a lot of information out of just one card. So the card for the weekend forecast is the Five of Wands. You know, if you look at some of these faces in the Five of Wands, it's not necessarily like a fun time that they're having in this. Like, you know, they're measuring. One person over here in the green tunic looks worried. The one in the blue tunic may be laughing about something, and he also might be yelling at the guy that he's talking to. One person is looking at the stick alone and not looking at anybody else. It's almost like, how is this thing of sticks going to actually be built if all five of these people are out for themselves, or doing their own thing without really discussing and having like a unified decision, you know, in order to build this? Like, you're not going to be able to build anything, and it's just going to be a pile of fucking sticks if you don't communicate with each other and you don't work together. So too does that kind of illustrate what the Five of Wands' energy is about. You know, sometimes it can be about group politics. Sometimes it can be about, you know, realizing the common goal that you're working towards, and being communicative of that, and knowing that it's just like, it's not just about you, it's about the whole. So if you have to work this weekend, keep that energy in mind, that it's just like, remember your common goal, especially if you have to work with other people. And if you're working for yourself, or even if in play or in relationships, it's just like, do not be the stick wagger, do not be the stick measurer. Um, and stop doing this whole comparison to others thing, because honestly, what is the saying? Comparison is the theft of joy. You have your own skill set, and you have your own interests, and that makes you you, and it also contributes to the greater whole, doesn't take away from the greater whole. So that is the weekend forecast for this weekend. 5 of Wands from the Radiant Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And I'm not going to be able to provide that kind of in-depth interpretation for my book, because that's not what it's meant for. It's meant to be able as a spark for your own interpretations and your own tarot learning. So thank you all so much for watching. I feel like it was a lot more packed in here before, and it's just gotten very quiet. So I think some people might be watching the replay later on, and that is fine too. So even if you're watching the replay or you joined me live, thank you very much for watching. I do want to emphasize, we usually do these shows every Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are not going to be having a show next week because I will be in Vegas completing my EFT certification. So let me show the where did it go? Can't find it. I was going to show the schedule, but we have a whole bunch of episodes that we record every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So last week was Cards of Your Destiny, I think. The week before that, I did some one card readings for people. Yeah, so we have a bunch of episodes that you can look through the archives on and look at the replays. We've been doing this for, I think, over 3 years now. So yeah, check out any of those episodes. Again, we had one on the 5s and the 7 of the tarot, and that was a 2-part episode. And I think I might just go back to that and watch that myself, so that it can help me write this last chapter. So Katie's saying, thank you, have a good weekend, and also good luck with the finishing up of your writing. Thank you very much. I'm probably going to take a little bit of a break to have some dinner before returning to that last part, because honestly, what I'm going to be doing, oh, I just found a hamburger seed. What I've been doing is giving kind of a guidance of what the aces mean, what the 2s mean, what the 3s mean, what the 4s mean. And then below that, I'm going to be talking specifically about what the 4 of Wands means. Because, if it was just same for all of the 4s of the tarot, then there wouldn't be 4 4s or 4 5s or 4 6s. You know what I mean? So anyway, thank you all so very much for watching. And once again, I am Hilary, professional tarot reader, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. Have a wonderful weekend. Remember the 5 of Wands this weekend. Remember to be kind as well when you're interacting with everyone. You never know what kind of time that person is having. You never know what other people are going through. And I will see you. Actually, there's going to be I think I'm going to be off for the next 2 Fridays in succession, because I'll be in Vegas next Friday, and then I will have Beltane weekend the Friday after that. So I will be back and post on social media the schedule. So I think it's going to be the second weekend in May. The second Friday in May is when we're going to be resuming episodes. Sophia is also saying good night. Good night, Sophia. Thank you all so much for watching, and bye-bye. Ah, there we go. Bye.